Hello, 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 hello. One more hello to you, my beautiful people out there in YouTube land. How are you on this blessed Friday afternoon? Indeed, it is Friday, July 10th, 2020, and you're watching Omega Live with JJ, Women Without Borders. Welcome to my first time visitors. Yes, thank you for tuning in. Yes, 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 indeed. It's the end of the week, TGIF for some persons. Yay! I know you're happy. It is Friday. You get to rest over the weekend. Good for you. Good for you. But for all my other peeps who have to work over the weekend, go with God, okay? Stay blessed and be a blessing. Absolutely. Guys, I thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I do not take it for granted. As you know, I really appreciate every single one of you. To my subscribers, continue to subscribe, guys. And remember, you have to subscribe to the channel, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Don't just watch, but also subscribe and invite your friends and family to do likewise, okay? Yes, guys. And if it's your first time and you don't know what I do, I give you the news and then I give you my 2 cents on it, yeah? My commentary on what's happening. I can't give you every single thing, but I give you enough information that you can make informed decisions. Every day, it's a new day. There's so much things happening in the world, right? And so in this 1 hour program, I give you as much as I can and I tell you my perspective. Then you can go ahead and formulate, your own opinions, okay? We guys are not robots, right? And even robots, even though they're programmed, I mean, if you look at some of these robots, it's as if they are, they're human beings, the way they behave, right? Much less we who God created and gave intelligence, guys. We are supposed to try things. Oh my goodness gracious. Guys, remember, if you are watching my program, then you know that you cannot communicate with me live when I'm on the program, right? And again, I forgot that I was supposed to have tuned you out. I'm sorry, you're going to get tuned out. You're going to get tuned out because you're calling me while my program is going on, and I cannot accept calls or text messages while my program is going on. So let me do some housekeeping here, guys. Let me do some housekeeping here quickly. Do some housekeeping because persons are interrupting my program. I don't want to lose my feet today, don't it? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys, you know the drill, right? I love you all, but in the morning session, right up until 1:30, that's not a good time to be speaking with me, unless it's an emergency. And of course, the emergency trumps everything else, right? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys. So I think that should cover that. Oh my goodness. Mwah. My cousin all the way from New York. Hello, my darling. It's a good day indeed. A good day to you too, and welcome. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And I know you're sharing the link with your friends and family. But thank you, my cuz. Absolutely. Hey, Saloni. Thank you, darling. Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely enjoying. And I know Dad is tuning into. Hi, Dad. Hi to everybody who's watching. I love you all, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. Yes, that's what we're supposed to do, right? Each one help one. And of course, we are here to help each other. As a student of knowledge, I'm here to give you information, my fellow students of knowledge, that you can go and make informed decisions. Absolutely. So I really appreciate you all. Thank you. Guys, remember, give me my thumbs up. If I say something that you like, give me my thumbs up so I can, and YouTube can see that we have an interaction here. Even though we know the algorithm is not good, nevertheless, we are happy for YouTube. We thank them. I'm on it live and you're able to see me in real time, talk to me in real time. If you comment, I can see it and I can comment in real time. Absolutely. So we are enjoying that. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So you know the drill. I'm going to go straight into the program. I have a lot of information to give to you, and I got to give you my information, and then I give you my 2 cents where applicable. Yeah. Yeah. So Jamaica now has 753 confirmed cases of the COVID-19 coronavirus disease, that is right, according to according to the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton. Yeah, on Thursdays, Dr. Tufton has his COVID conversation. That's what he calls his press briefings on Thursdays. And at that time, that's where we get our figures, our information. So according to Dr. Tufton, the two new cases are one male and one female, a 44-year-old and a 55-year-old. They are both imported cases. They both came in from flight resides overseas. One is a Jamaican who has a St. James address, and the other is a tourist who stayed in St. Anne but has since repatriated. That means he or she has gone back home. Yeah. All right. So continue with the big numbers, guys. I actually have some information to give to you too as it relates to this, but let me give you the information first. So according to the minister, he said, to date, we have 27,531 samples that were done. And of course, as I said, 753 are positive, with 26,722 that are negative. There are still 56 samples that are pending, and I tell you to watch those pending samples, guys, because some of these new cases, that's where they're coming from those pending numbers. Yeah, the pending can come back all 56 negative. They can also come back all 56 positive. Yeah. All right. In the same 24-hour period, there are 3 other persons who recovered from the disease. So to date, we have 603. 600. Thank you for my thumbs up, guys. Yes, keep those thumbs up coming. I appreciate you. Love you. To date, we have 603 persons who have recovered from the COVID-19. Guys, not a death sentence, and I'll tell you more about that in a little while. Of course, as a result of those 2 imported cases, we are now up to 235, the total number of imported cases. Yeah. Yeah, the other numbers basically stays the same, except for the number of females. It's now 424. Number of males now 329. We still only have 10 deaths. Guys, okay, before I give you my 2 cents, you know what? Meanwhile, let me give you some more information. So meanwhile, according to the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jacqueline Bissetsa McKenzie, as the number of cases grow worldwide, right, this becomes harder for Jamaica to receive the continued amount of supplies needed to do testing. As such, it becomes more important to test persons with symptoms in the country rather than test those without symptoms who are coming into the country, right? Effective today, that is Friday, July 10th, according to the Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness, arrivals from Florida, New York, Texas, and Arizona were required to do pre-testing. Remember, you watched the press briefing, right? And even if you didn't watch it, I give you that information in a previous program, right? You would have remembered that. Okay. Well, according to both the CMO and the Health Minister, that this now takes effect the 15th, is what they are saying. It's not today, the 10th. They both said it's the 15th that this takes effect, right? All right. So, according to what they're saying now, guys, and I got to give you some information. The CMO says they don't have the capacity to test every single person who's coming into the country, right? And we would have known that. Jamaica being a very small island, right? A small country, not having the capability that the first world larger countries would have had in terms of being able to afford to purchase the supplies for the testing. We can't afford to test every single person that comes to the country. When there were 500 people coming in and 1,000 persons coming in, we were able to do quite well with the testing. And we weren't even doing very well, but they claim they were doing very well. So we give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And so, but now with 50,000 persons coming into the country, it is impossible for them to test that amount of persons because, as you know, right now, persons have been tested and they're 14 days waiting for results. Yes, you understand? And imagine if you are a tourist, for example, coming into the country for a week, and up to when you're ready to leave the country to go back home, you have not gotten your test results. Ridiculous, isn't it? Exactly. And so they are behind in terms of the backlog of testing results. So as such, it doesn't even make sense. And according to what the CMO is saying, she's also saying that from what she has discovered, most of the persons who are testing positive, so for example, those 2 persons that I gave you who are tested positive, the chances are those 2 were persons without any symptom, because she said most of the persons who are being tested positive now are persons without symptoms. They are showing no symptoms, they are asymptomatic. Yeah. It is on that, or with that backdrop, you understand, with that kind of foundation, background information, that she's making the statement that As far as she sees it, it is better to test persons with symptoms in the country than to test persons outside of the country who are not showing any kind of symptom or asymptomatic, because according to her, those persons have a very low spread. And I think what she's also talking about, the fact that she has seen, or their observation, that when you're asymptomatic, when you have no symptoms, you really you don't do much infection. You do not infect people. You're not sneezing, you're not coughing, you don't have fever and so forth. So persons are not being able to contract the virus from you. That is my understanding of what she's saying. I'm not saying I'm buying it, guys. I'm just giving you the information as I get it, right? That's not my 2 cents on it. I don't buy it, but I'm telling you what they say, right? Okay. Now, I am going to give you some information before I really give you my 2 cents. So let me give some more information. And this information I'm giving you, guys. This is from the World Health Organization. You do know, and you should have known by now, because I've been telling you all the time, that all the protocols that you're seeing being implemented by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, they get them from the World Health Organization. Who is like their, the WHO Bible? That's what they read. You understand? So everything WHO says to do, that's what they do. So all that they've been doing, it's not their own initiative that they're taking to do what they're doing. They're doing based on what WHO has passed it handed down to them. The protocol that WHO has established, that's what they're using. Now, listen to this. This is from WHO, the same WHO we're talking about. All right. Lower respiratory infections remains the most deadly communicable disease, causing 3.3 million deaths worldwide in 2016. I'm giving some data, I'm giving data for my big data people so you can understand and put things in context, yeah? 3 million deaths worldwide in 2016. The death rate from diarrheal diseases decreased by almost 1 million between 2000 and 2016. Similarly, the number of tuberculosis deaths decreased during the same period, but still among the top 10 causes of death with 1.3 million. That's tuberculosis. HIV is no longer among the world's top 10 causes of death, having killed only 1 million in 2016 compared to 1.5 in 2000. Yeah? Now, worldwide, guys, 56.9 million persons died in 2016. Yeah? Some of the top 10 causes of death of those, that big number I give to you, includes heart disease and stroke. Yeah? Accounting for a combined 15.2 million deaths in 2016. These diseases have remained the leading causes of death globally in the last 15 years. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, claimed 3 million lives in 2016, while lung cancer, along with trachea and bronchus cancers, right? We lump them together, caused 1.7 million deaths. Diabetes killed 1.6 million people in 2016, right? And even death due to dementia doubled between 2000 and 2016, making it the 5th leading cause of global deaths in 2016 compared to the 14 in 2000. It's a reason I'm giving you these figures, guys. These figures are from the World Health Organization, their global health report for 2016. Now, here's the question that they asked when in their report. This is the question that they asked in their report. Why do we need to know the reasons people die? Measuring how many people die each year and why they died is one of the most important means, along with gauging how diseases and injuries are affecting people, for assessing the effectiveness of a country's health system. Cause of death statistics help health authorities determine the focus of their public health actions. A country in which deaths from heart disease and diabetes rise rapidly over a period of a few years, for example, has a strong interest in starting a vigorous program to encourage lifestyles to help prevent these diseases. Yeah? Similarly, if a country recognizes that many children are dying from pneumonia, but only a small portion of the budget is dedicated to providing effective treatment, it can increase spending in this particular area. High-income countries have systems in place for collecting information on causes of death. However, many low and middle income countries do not have such systems, and the number of deaths from specific causes have to be estimated from incomplete data. Improvements in producing high quality cause of death data are crucial for improving health and reducing preventable deaths in these countries. Now, yesterday, the minister, they had a select committee meeting where they were talking about spending, how much money is spent on COVID-19. You understand, the billions of dollars that so far has been spent, and we have only had 10 deaths. Right? It's a reason I read this report from O to you guys, so you can make your own informed decisions. Now, in March, when we had our first case, and subsequently, we have had lots of reports or persons, pundits basically in the media and social media who have given their opinion as to what is happening with regard to this disease. Right? Now we are told. Yesterday, the 9th of July, was when they had the press conference. We are told that, hey, COVID-19 is here to stay, which means, guys, let me interpret it for you. What they're saying is, hey, COVID-19 is like your regular flu, right? Your other communicable diseases, your measles, your pneumonia, etc. Okay? It is here to stay. You're to assume that every single person, and I'm telling you what they said, guys, you're to assume that every person has COVID-19 and so act accordingly, which means when you're with that person, you got to be wearing your mask, practicing physical distancing, etc. That is what they're saying, guys. So here is my thing. In March and April, when the so-called conspiracy theorists were saying the very same thing, right? And saying that what you're doing, shutting down the economy and doing all manner of things that is wrecking the country and wrecking the economy and wrecking the infrastructure and wrecking people's lives and family lives and so forth is not the way to go. You said, yes, you had to do it to curb COVID-19. Now you're saying you can't curb COVID-19. We have to live with it. Having destroyed our economy. Having destroyed people's lives. Huh? Guys, I always hear them say, if you not go so, it never go so. When you hear conspiracy theories speaking, don't brush them off. The mainstream media would want you to brush them off and say, oh, they're speaking rubbish. Always remember, mainstream media is for the government or the opposing government, depending on which slant they take. It is never for you and I, or you and me, American, British, right? Remember that. It is never. And so whenever you hear in mainstream media, you take it with a grain of salt and you spend as much time listening to mainstream media as you do to the conspiracy theorists. Because usually almost half, if not three-quarters of what they're saying is correct. That's how it go, as would I say in Jamaica. Yeah? Because here it is now, you're seeing, guys, all of this spread of COVID-19 worldwide. And as though Jamaica has this wonderful health system, we were able to curtail COVID-19 to 10 deaths and 753 cases. Or people are dying worldwide from supposedly from COVID-19. Yeah? Really? And we are now told it's okay. We're gonna open our borders. We're gonna not do testing of persons coming in. Because guess what? You gotta live with it. So the onus is on you, my people. That's what they're saying. The onus is on you, my people. You must protect yourself. So basically, guys, it boils down to what I told you. And you can go back into my library in March or April. I forgot exactly when I did it. When I gave you the details of how infections are spread. And I tell you, if you break the link of infection, that's how you curtail any disease at all. Right? These are infections. Yeah? And if you break one link, you break the chain. So the same thing for if you have a flu. Flu is catching. It's contagious. It's a communicable disease. The flu. And yet we live with the flu, don't it? We have been living with the flu. What do we do when somebody has the flu? You practice infection control measures. That's the point. Yeah? That this is no different. At least now we're being told that. When we were saying that before and saying something else is going on here, we were told, nah, it's COVID-19. And you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Now we're being told, hey, COVID-19, it's like a flu, it's like a measles, it's like a smallpox, it's like a whatever. Practice infection control measures. Wear your mask and you'll be good to go. Now I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna skip, I'm gonna come back, but I'm gonna fast forward. But I wanna, as I'm talking about this, I wanna go to the front page of the Gleaner today. So on the front page of the Gleaner today, the second story, not the main story, but the second story on the front page of the Gleaner, I'm gonna show you. It says, you see it? Yeah? Can you see it? Yeah, guys. Juliet Wholeness, she says, scorn them if necessary. That's the headline. I'm going to tell you because I gave it in context in which she said it. So before you, get all, and of course, after you hear it, you might still go, but at least you'd have had context for it. Let me give you the context for that comment by Juliet Wholeness, our so-called First Lady, right? And the Prime Minister's wife, right? And also a member of Parliament, right? Okay. East Rural St. Andrew Member of Parliament Juliet Wholeness is urging Jamaicans, in particular those who have returned from overseas, to comply with the established protocols to protect others from contracting the deadly coronavirus. So far, so good. Nothing wrong with that, right? Incensed by the reckless attitude displayed by some Jamaicans since the government's phased reopening orders were issued, she said that members of the public must take personal responsibility for their own well-being by reporting persons who defy protocols pertaining to movement among members of the public. And I'm going to quote her now. I don't want to generalize, but I'm very concerned with Jamaicans believing that in every respect we need law enforcement to have us comply with what is good for us, our families, and the rest of the population. If you realize that they should be quarantined and they are up and about, make the report. I would want to encourage Jamaicans when people come from overseas, scorn them if necessary, she said. Wholeness made the plea after detailing an incident involving non-Jamaicans in her constituency who recently ignored isolation protocols to attend a nine night. She was addressing a committee of Parliament looking into the present public health crisis arising from COVID-19. That was yesterday, right? I'm going to quote her again. I have observed, particularly in my constituency, persons who are non-Jamaicans who, when asked to stay at home, do not. Last Saturday night, I went to a setup and I saw 2 police vehicles there, sent by the Ministry of Health to find a certain individual. We located him long after. We went to his home and he wasn't there. And when we went back to the setup, he was very much there. He is asymptomatic and he was adamant he was not moving. She disclosed that the man attended the funeral the following day and was in the presence of a lot of persons, her words. Quoting her again, so I am making a plea because we have had a situation with the number of funerals declined to almost nothing, where we are now seeing setups, grave diggings, and funerals abundantly every day, every weekend, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a community. I am begging Jamaicans to understand that the persons who travel and you see them out, report it, and at the minimum, keep a distance from them, the PM said. Okay. So, this is the Prime Minister's wife speaking, right? And of course, we sympathize and we empathize and we understand. And like I said earlier, even what the CMO said, you have to practice your physical distancing and you have to practice infection control measures. But again, you got to treat the COVID-19 as you treat somebody with the flu. When you have the flu and you go to the workplace, they said it back home, right? They said you got to go home. You cannot stay in the office if you have the flu. So it's the same idea, guys. You can't be around people if you're ill, especially if it's a communicable disease, that something is transmittable to other people, right? But this is what I take issue with. Right? I would want to encourage Jamaicans when people come from overseas, scan them if necessary. How on earth are you going to say that people must scorn people if necessary, regardless of the context in which you speak? Hmm? You cannot do that. And you are the member of parliament, you're the prime minister's wife, speaking like this. Thank you for my thumbs up, guys. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I know you enjoy what I'm saying, don't it? Absolutely. This is wrong. But this is the mindset of the people who are representing us, guys. Remember, members of parliament are voted into office. We elect them to represent us. And this is the mindset that these people have for us as individuals. Huh? You're Jamaican, come home from overseas, and you're telling your fellow Jamaicans, your brothers and sisters, that they must scorn. Yeah? And at the same time, the same Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Clifford Tufton, said a few weeks ago that persons were scorning people and was telling them not to scorn them. You remember, guys, I did a program. Go back into my library. These are the people, guys, who represents us. You see the mindset of the people. And you also see that there's dissent in the camp. You don't have to want to be a fly on the wall to know what happened in these cabinet meetings sometimes, because you see the opposing views. Of course, they try to come out and give you what, as if they're on one accord and everything. Everybody's saying the same thing. But you can tell just by how these people speak when they're in a parliament or in a select committee meeting. Because I tell you guys, even when the camera is on you, after a time, it's just human nature. You forget your camera is on you, and yourself, your natural personality shines through. That's why you have reality talk shows so successful. Yeah, it's just the reality. Even when the camera is on you, after a while, you forget, and you just act yourself. And you're seeing, guys, the personality, the character of these people who we have elected to represent us, what they think of us. The solution is not scorning people. That's not the solution. The solution is to practice infection control measures. And yes, you wear your mask because you're protecting the portal of entry and the portal of exit. This is how they say the virus enters our body, through our nose and our mouth. Yeah? So if you wear your mask, it can't enter your body. And if you have it, you can't pass it on to somebody. Yeah? Yeah, guys, you make what you will of that one, yeah? You make what you will of that one. Yeah. And I got to give you, I'm going to continue with the news. And before I go back to the other story on the front page of the Gleaner, I got to go to this other one because I have to give you this other one also in the same vein. We're talking about public officials who have either been elected or appointed to handle our affairs on our behalf, right? So this one, as you've heard, and I'm sure you've been, because I mentioned it yesterday, it's been in the news, it's all over. They've made it partisan now, where it has become a PNP, he said, she said, a PNP, JLP, he said, she said, right? But it's not really that, guys, right? These are real issues that really needs to be dealt with, but they have made it an issue. And so I have to give you more information on that. So basically, it's concerning the DPP, the office of the DPP. So the challenge of prosecuting a 50 accused gang case, at first in the Caribbean, is one of the major reasons Director of Public Prosecutions, Paulo Llewellyn, has decided to take up Prime Minister Andrew Owen's offer to stay in the job for another 3 years. And that's a lie. Guys, you talk about misinformation, guys. That's what I'm telling you. When you hear things, you have to weigh them with, take them with a grain of salt, investigate, do your own investigation. Even if it's me it's coming from, do your own investigation to ensure that what I'm saying is correct. I try to give you accurate information, guys, because there's so much misinformation out there and lack of information, and my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, is what my father says. Now, as I understand it, and I'm going to give you a little clip. I'm going to play a clip for you guys. I had stopped playing clips because of the fact that most times when I do, my feed falls. But I'm going to pray that I can give you this clip. I'm taking a chance because I want you to hear this clip, guys, from the horse's mouth. I'm praying that this clip will not fall when I give you a clip. You understand? But this public servant, she basically was the one who made the request to the prime minister for the extension. She said out of her mouth, she did not give him a time frame as to how long. You understand? He was the one who came up with the 3 years. But it was not his offer to her. It was she who actually asked for the request. And this was done from February, even though she said the idea started from November of last year. So, speaking on the Jamaica Observer's sister radio station, The Edge, yesterday morning, she explained that the pending case will have security issues, will need deployment of at least 6 prosecutors, and will be very complex. That's her words, right? She told Richie B, quote, it will be very sensitive. And it really will need a DPP who has the experience in terms of dealing with these sorts of matters in the back, like a general. The DPP and her team will likely relish another chance to take on gang-related cases after Wednesday's unexpected not guilty verdict for 6 accused of being members of the notorious King Valley Gang. And I did not give you that story because I can't give you everything, but I know you heard about that story, right? In reacting to the ruling, a member of the prosecuting team said the loss would mean a reassessment of how they would approach pending gang-related cases. The prosecution's case in the King Valley Gang trial relied heavily on the testimony of one star witness. This is the same prosecutor, the same DPP office we're talking about, right? Lost the case. They lost the case. This experienced prosecutor, they lost the case. Why? Because they depended heavily on the testimony of one star witness who claimed to be a former gang member with intricate details about crimes committed by his alleged former cronies. So Chief Justice Brian Sykes was unconvinced by the witness's testimony, however, citing a lack of corroborating evidence. It is a bench trial, yeah? For the upcoming historic case in which 50 accused gang members will be brought before the court, the DPP's team believes her presence will be critical to their success. And it wasn't before, so I don't know why there hasn't been a precedent. So why did it expect it's going to happen now in the future? It didn't happen in the past. Why is it going to happen now in the future? Anyways, she said. The team, asked her to remain in the role for at least another 2 years. Quote, I told them that what they really want is my alligator skin to take all the battering. So when I take all the battering, all these things would have been cleared and I would have left my legacy and my successor in a good position with a strong office and not having to go through all this unfinished work. That's what she put in the radio interview, right? And she said the same thing again this morning when she was on Power 106. And I'm going to play a little clip for you with that in a second. She added that the ongoing renovations of her offices and the takeover of the clerk of courts island-wide by her offices were the other 2 reasons she had opted to remain on the job. You hear the reason she is staying, right, guys? Quote, we are going through massive renovations at the office right now. Which commenced in my tenure. And it really needs a lot of close handling. You need close handling to manage renovation, okay, guys? To make sure that these renovations are done in a way that makes everyone happy and comfortable because only she alone can do it. Both members of staff, as well as the contractors and the Minister of Justice. It has caused a lot of upheaval, but we are managing well. Secondly, there is the whole issue of unification, which is something the Cabinet has signed off on, where the office of the DPP will be taken over the 66 clerk of course island-wide. Now, that is a very delicate, complex, sensitive administrative situation, which is going to need tremendous experience in the DPP at the helm in terms of management, administration, and actual knowledge in terms of how the particular courts work, she added. The matter of the DPP's tenure became a public debate following a Gleaner report that opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips had written to Governor General Sir Patrick Allen in March. It was in March. The letter was written, guys, in March. Now it's July. put that in context. And remember this when you're discussing the story, put it in context. The letter was written, guys, in March prior to COVID-19. Okay. So the letter was written in March, citing a poor track record of corruption prosecution by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the ODPP, and objecting to an extension of her tenure, which officially ends when she turns 60 this year. So this was way before all that you hear happening out there happening. Okay, put it in context. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Andrew Olney said he had dismissed that objection and was pushing ahead with a recommendation for the Governor General for a 3-year extension of her position. Yesterday, Dr. Phillips, commenting on the matter for the first time since the Gleaner article, said he felt compelled to, quote, set the elements of the record straight, end quote. According to Dr. Phillips, following communication from the Prime Minister on the February 7th, 2020, the 7th of February 2020, regarding the request from the DPP to have her tenure extended for 5 years, was what was said then, he replied to the Prime Minister on March 2nd, 2020, before our first COVID-19 case, outlining the views of the opposition, but to date has had no response from the Prime Minister. His quote, his words. He said subsequently in May, following communication with the Governor General, so the Governor General wrote to the opposition leader, he communicated directly with Mr. Holness. Quote, at no time did I say, as the Prime Minister stated, nor has anyone else speaking on my behalf said that the appointment of a new Director of Public Prosecution should be withheld in order to facilitate a new administration or any incoming government. Any suggestion in that regard is palpably false, not true. Yeah, that type of fabrication by the Prime Minister is totally unacceptable, Dr. Phillips charged yesterday. He noted that the appointment of a DPP is done by the Public Service Commission with only one extension of tenure requiring consultation between both the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition. In this instance, that would have to be completed before September of this year, as there is no constitutional requirement that could enforce the calling of elections prior to September. Such was never a consideration. Okay, I'm going to stop there. The story continues, but I'm going to stop because I want to give my 2 cents. So this morning, right, so further to what I just read to you, right? This morning in an interview with Sanjay Lewis on Power 106, that is the morning agenda, the DPP said the ODPP, that's the office, has been developed under her tenure, right? With 58 attorneys increased from 26. So 12 years ago, when she started, she had 26 attorneys. To date, she now has 58 attorneys working under her. Yeah? She has also, she said, invested a lot. She said, in her words, I'm quoting her, she has invested a lot in building a cadre of very senior persons for her succession. So basically, right, she also wants the public to know that it was her office that extradited Dudus. Now, my question is, does the DPP really want to go there to really bring in Dudus into this? As if they really had a choice in extraditing Dudus to the US? Really? Guys, my 2 cents, and you can formulate your own decisions, your own opinions, right? But I have to say, seriously speaking, before I give you my 2 cents, so let me, I did promise you I was going to play this for you to hear. Listen to this, guys. I really hope my feet doesn't fall. Listen to this.
We have a number of units that have been developed under my tenure. We have the anti-gang unit, we have the cybercrime and forensic evidence unit. We have quite a few units. Extradition. And with all of the central authority for extradition, I extradited too. Our office did it. And all other extraditions that you've heard about, the not a scam, persons who are tried abroad. We are also the mutual assistance as the designated central authority for that. And I can tell you, I have been told by my partners, central authority in Canada, in America, in England, that Jamaica literally leads the way in the quality and level of service. But DPP is our requesting partner.
Hear me out, DPP, because with all of that and what you have done to build the office, wouldn't it also be incumbent on you to start a clear succession planning so that you would have to request an extension?
No. But you see, this is what you don't understand. We have commenced succession planning, and I'm investing a lot, and I have in building a cadre of very senior persons. But prosecution is an experience-driven operation. You cannot have a situation, and if I don't have to point it out, my staff are aware. You cannot have us being on the eve of prosecuting or preparing to prosecute a 50 accused case. 50. That is the first time you're going to do that in the Caribbean. I wonder if you have any idea of what will entail in the prosecuting.
Not a clue.
It's not a cartoon. What do you think we do? We just get up, read paper, and just have the 50 people in court? You think that is what we do? It takes a lot, and it benefits from experience. You have security issues. You have a lot of other issues to engage the witnesses. You have to work closely with the police. And in cases like that, cases like the Queen against Bishop Miller, the beheading case, you have to make sure that the synergy of your staff to take on that sort of thing, that it's right there. We have the unification. You know what unification is?
No.
Cabinet has signed off on it. We have commenced the process. We have consultants who are in-house and otherwise, which are doing a review of the office. That has to do with the office of the DPP taking over administrative responsibilities for all 66 clerk of courts island. Why? Do you know what that would entail?
No.
A tremendous, complex, what should I say, disengagement and separation from the situation that exists now. And you need a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge of the system, and continuity would be important. One would say
I'll stop there, guys. And thank God the feet did not fall. Yes. I just had to let you hear from the horse's mouth. You heard that. So basically, DPP is saying that you need wisdom and knowledge. As you know, guys, I tell you all the time, you know, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? So we do need wisdom and knowledge to get the job done, don't it? But clearly, of the, how much? 58 attorneys in her office, none of them has any wisdom or knowledge to do the job, even though she has built a cadre of senior persons, you know, persons who can succeed her, right? She has said, right? And she knows her birthday was coming up in September, and the Constitution said that was when you're supposed to. Yes, the Constitution also said you can have an extension, right? But you're going, after spending 12 years, you know, you're going into it depending on an extension, because you obviously and clearly are not prepared to vacate the office come September, right? But the reasons you're giving as to why you're staying is similar to the reason the Prime Minister is giving for why he is extending or is asking for an extension. And we can only say to all of that, baloney. That's baloney. Because it's an indictment on your part if you're given reasonable. Okay, so you're saying that you need experience. Aren't you the expert? Weren't you the expert who actually lost the recent case, you know, with that gang trial? So you want a second shot at going after these other gangs, according to you, as a reason. Innovation? Really? Renovation? Nobody else can handle the renovation of the offices? Wow. 58 attorneys with a cadre of very senior persons, and none of them is qualified. That's what you're saying, in essence. That's why you have to stay on for another 3 years. Wow. Guys, I don't think I need this anymore. I leave the rest for you, my people, to decide, right? And I will just continue with the news. So, yeah. The Ministry of Justice is calling on Jamaicans to sign up as mentors for the National Child Diversion Program. The program focuses on diverting children who have come in conflict with the law away from the criminal justice system and using psychosocial support for rehabilitation. So far, there have been 37 referrals and 27 cautions issued from the Jamaica Constabulary for the JCF, as well as 14 referrals from the court to the program. Consultant with the National Child Diversion Programs, Ruth Carey, said so far, more than 450 mentors have been trained and are available across the island to assist youth who get into trouble. Quote, we targeted about 30 mentors per parish to start, and I believe we have over 450 mentors now in the program. 80% of these people are justices of the peace. JPs. We have trained all of the mentors in the program, so every child will be assigned a mentor to fit their circumstances and their needs. Every child there. I mean, this poor English. Oh. She was speaking during the Ministry of Justice Access Justice Live virtual town hall held at the ministry's head office in Kingston and streamed live across multiple platforms. It focused on educating Jamaicans on the various developments in the justice sector, as well as facilitated discussions on justice-related matters of national interest. Individuals interested in signing up as mentors with the program can visit the ministry's website at moj.gov.jm. I'll give it to you again, guys, if you want to be a mentor to a child. A great program, yeah? moj.gov.jm to fill out the form that is available on the site. Meanwhile, the Justice Ministry is calling on counselors, psychologists, and social workers to volunteer their time to offer their services to the Child Diversion Program. Carey said the program is critical as it focuses on the development of communities becoming part of the process of healing, for these children, right? Quote, it is a holistic approach. So whilst our parish committees have an education officer, a guidance counselor, a medical practitioner, a justice of the peace, a minister of religion, we also require social workers and psychologists. Any retired person can contact our office, and if you're a social worker, counselor, or psychologist, we really require your support. So if you're interested in offering hours to our program, we would really appreciate it, she said. Individual persons can contact the ministry at, I'll give you the number, 876-906-4923 to 31. The number again is 876-906-4923. It goes up to 31. You can, of course, visit their head office, which is at 61 Constant Spring Road, Kingston 10. Yeah? Okay. Okay, guys. So let me give you. Before we go to the other story on the front page of the Gleaner, let me give you this one. So, Corporate Communication Manager at the National Water Commission. You're gonna want to hear this. If you have not heard it before, guys, you're gonna hear it. For my people in the diaspora, I know you have not heard this one yet. So this is going to knock your socks off. Listen to this one. Corporate Communications Manager at the National Water Commission, the NWC, Andrew Cannon, is admitting that the state-owned utility is also is paying customers for water it produces that's stolen by others. Gonna say JPS. He says the issue remains a work in progress for the NWC. The revelation comes after Light and Power Company, the Jamaica Public Service JPS, also admitted recently that the OUR has allowed them to recoup losses incurred through electricity theft from its paying customers. But, Mr. Cannon says, the NWC is actively pursuing those stealing the precious commodity. Meanwhile, President of the NWC, Mark Barnett, says, unless paying customers report incidents of water theft, they will continue to pay more for losses incurred by theft. He notes that there's a culture in Jamaica where people feel they shouldn't pay for water, they want it free. The NWC president also sought to explain how water theft is filtered into paying customers' bills. Mr. Barnett was speaking yesterday during a virtual media briefing on drought mitigation and also this morning on Power 106 FM. Yeah. So, for all of you conspiracy theorists, mwah, I say congratulations for winning this round. You all said it. Nobody listened. Nobody believed. I tell you guys, time longer than rope is what we always heard, yes? Time is the master. I'm telling you, the truth prevails. It flourishes over time, with time, yes? All you have to do is just wait, guys, whatever is happening, just give it time. The truth will come out. Here, the truth has come out. Both JPS and Water Commission are admitting that they've been padding our bills. You understand? Why? Because people are stealing light and water, and somebody has to pay it. And guess who has to pay it? You guess it, as usual, we suckers. Yeah, the tax-paying public. It's not enough that we have to be paying so much taxes, but we also have to pay more light and water than what we are using because others are not paying. And according to these utility companies, they're telling us the onus is on us. It is our fault. That's what they're saying. It is our fault for not reporting the persons who are stealing utility. Really? I thought that was the government's responsibility to protect your infrastructure. We need to check back the Constitution on that one. Yeah? Because I didn't know it was my responsibility. I thought it was the government's responsibility. And why are you giving me that responsibility and charging me and penalizing me because I did not? Which is what you're doing right now. Huh? A single person should not be paying $6,000, almost $7,000 per month for electricity. Huh? That's crazy. Because I'm paying it because you padded my bill with people's bill because they're not paying. Before you go after them to collect, you're charging me, penalizing me for that theft. Guys, you see what I'm saying to you? We need to do a class action lawsuit. If we were in the States, or other countries, we would have had a class action lawsuit long time ago. We are so apathetic in this country. We just put up with everything. We talk on the veranda and we talk around the bar stool. You understand? And we talk around the water cooler. But nobody does anything about these things. You understand? Right here, this is classic. Right here, this is a classic case that you can't lose. This is a no-lose case. You understand? This is a class action lawsuit pending right here. Don't you want back some of the money that has been stolen from you by these utility companies? I'm sure you do. That same money can be used to pay some bills going forward in the future. Absolutely. Come together, man. Come together. There is strength in numbers. We are stronger together than we are apart. It's time we come together. We keep on saying it, but we're not doing it. Huh? Guys, I keep on telling you, love is a verb. It's an action word. It's not what you say, it's what you do. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We are being destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Wise up, man. Wise up, wise up, wise up. Stand up. Rise up. It's time. Too long we've been taking it lying down. Enough is enough, don't you think? Yeah. All right, guys. So give me the next page, the next front page, the next story on the front page of the Gleaner. So this is the main headline on the Gleaner, guys. That's the main headline on the Gleaner front page. You see that? Yeah, we're going back to St. Anne. Yeah, that is an ongoing story that has no resolution anytime soon. So latest in it now. So land deal threat, uncertainty over Bill Navy's $10 million offer for government. Lot. Sydney Stewart, the newly installed mayor of St. Anne's Bay. So St. Anne's Bay have a new mayor because you know that Bill Navy's resigned. So the newly installed mayor, right, Sydney Stewart, told the monthly meeting of the municipal corporation yesterday that he would review and reverse, if necessary, the approved sale of a lot of land in the heart of the capital for $10 million to his predecessor, who resigned last week as calls grew for him to step down. That's Michael Bell-Navis we're talking about, yeah? The councillor for the Bamboo Division in St. Anne, who has been elevated to the top job in the wake of the resignation of Michael Bell-Navis last week, signaled that it would not be business as usual at the municipality. Not business as usual. The issue was raised by Councillor for the Beechertown Divisions, Ian Bell, who told the meeting that based on documents he had seen, the land was sold to Bell Nevis for $10 million. Situated on Main Street in the capital, the land currently houses a public sanitary convenience to the rear, right? As they say that they would have had that. That was the grounds on which they applied for the they were not do that for the public. It was in the public's interest, right? And a Western Union outlet at the front. I guess that's for the public interest also, because you got to get the remittance, right? Lord help us. Okay. So the Western Union at the front, allegedly operated by, so the Western Union unit at the front is allegedly operated by Bell Nevis. I think Western Union office too, you know. Oh boy. The lot is sandwiched by a gas station and a supermarket. Attempts to reach Bell Nevis for a comment last night was unsuccessful. So we don't have his side of the story concerning that as yet. But you know, I'm going to give it to you when I get it, right? Absolutely. Bell said that the proposal to purchase the property was approved by the Trust and Estate Committee and later sent to the Finance Committee in February of this year. He said that at the time, he raised objections to the proposal, but before the matter could be ventilated, a motion was moved and seconded to approve the sale, because you know that majority of the councillors in the municipality are JLP councillors. Okay. He said that the matter was next scheduled to be sent to the local government ministry for approval, but he was yet to hear anything further. Contacted last night, local government minister Desmond Mackenzie said he was not immediately able to comment on the reported development. Mackenzie asked for the questions on the matter to be submitted to him for his investigation and response. And I'm sure we're going to get it, because this is a very active minister. Yeah? So that is the latest on this Bell Nevis, former mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Bell Nevis, guys. I give it to you as I get it. Yeah? Of course, I cannot end my program without I give you a little international news, because you know I am JJ, Woman Without Borders. So I got to put some international news into it for you, of course. And of course, my first international news that I have to give you guys has to do with cricket. Lovely cricket. Can do not give you that, right? So, sorry. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Oh, while I'm doing that, let me get myself some water. 1 second. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna get some water. Thank you. You know, speaking a lot, you know, keep your mouth dry, right? You gotta have some water to moisten the lips, right? Absolutely. Oh my God, I didn't give this one to you guys. What is my time? Yes, I promised you some extra, you know. So I'm gonna give you a little extra today, because yesterday I shortchanged yesterday. So I'm gonna give you another story, local story. But before I give the local story, I'm giving my international news, because I want to give you my cricket story. Yes. So West Indies stayed in control of the first test against England on Friday, which is today, because remember England is 6 hours ahead of us, right? By reaching lunch on day 3 at 159 for 3 to trail by 45 runs. We're doing well, yeah. Resuming, we're going to lose. If I was a betting person, you see. Resuming on 57 for 1, the touring side lost the wickets of Shy Hope and Craig Brathwaite, but added 122 runs in the sunshine at an empty Rose Bowl to close in on England's first innings total. Shamar Brooks and Ruston Chase were the unbeaten batsmen at the end of the first session. England's fast bowlers couldn't generate the same movement achieved by the West Indies pace artillery over the first 2 rain-affected days, with the 2 quickest, Jofra Archer and Mark Wood, awaiting their first wickets. Indeed, it was spinner Dumbes who claimed the first wicket of the day in his first over, finding Hope's edge for Ben Stokes to take the catch at slip. Hope had just been given a reprieve after being trapped in front of his stumps by Archer. The on-field umpire awarded an LBW. That's leg before wicket, yeah? But replays showed Archer overstepped the crease for no ball. Stokes took the other West Indies wicket, chopping Brathwaite leg before LBW, leg before wicket. The tourist reviewed and the DRS stayed with the umpire's call. As archive showed, the ball was hitting the bails. So you see, I mean, even in cricket, I mean, this third umpire, their video monitor, they're calling. But once upon a time, we had to depend on the umpire to tell us, whether the person is out or not. Now they're gone for the video. They just watch the replay, and then the replay gives them they can see exactly what happens on the video and know whether the call was right or wrong. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, I want to give you this other international. Oh, before I give that, I want to give this other international story before, and then I gotta come back local. Let me give this other international story, guys. So yeah, listen to this one, guys. Listen to this one. So, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and it's Japanese Prime Minister. We're going to Japan, guys. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe issued a public apology after former Justice Minister Katsuyuki Kawahi and his wife, lawmaker Andrew Kawahi, were indicated early in the day over vote buying charges dating to the House of Councillors election in summer 2019. And the apology was made on July 8th. So it's not really that new, but it's new for you, the first you're hearing it. Amid growing suspicion that the Kawahis used 150 million yen, which is approximately 1.4 million US dollars, guys, provided to them by the ruling Liberal Democratic Party headquarters as a fund for bribery. The Prime Minister sought understanding, saying, quote, although I know the use of the party's political funds is done so under strict rules, from now on, we will go a step further to improve our response. As a political party, we must fulfill our responsibility to remain accountable. And one more. So, I cannot end my program without giving you this one. I'm going into South Africa. I'm going to give you my African brother's story from Africa. Right, what is happening over there, particularly in South Africa. Yeah, so South Africa overnight posted another record daily high of confirmed cases. In one day, guys, 13,674. As Africa's most developed country, is a new global hotspot with 238,339 cases overall. A nurse at Chris Annie Baragwanath Hospital, which is the third largest hospital in the world with more than 3,000 beds, painted a bleak picture, saying, new patients with the virus are now being admitted into ordinary wards as the COVID-19 wards are full. Quote, our hospital is overloaded already. There has been an influx of patients over the last 2 weeks, the nurse told the Associated Press, on condition of anonymity, because of course she's not authorized to give interviews. You know how it is, right? Africa as a whole, the continent, as of Friday, which is today, has 541,381 confirmed cases, but shortages in testing materials means the real number is unknown. Does that sound familiar to you guys? That's what's happening in Jamaica and will continue to happen in Jamaica. Yeah. If you're not testing, then you can't give me, whatever number you give me cannot be the true numbers. As long as they're not testing, anything you tell me, that's not just that's far from the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, and I'm gonna end the program with this last story. I'm coming back home just to give you this local story, guys. Where is it? Yes, it's a developing story, by the way. Residents in Licensed District, Morant Bay, St. Thomas, reportedly stumbled upon a human skeletal remains in their community yesterday afternoon. The police said they were summoned after 1:50 p.m. and on their arrival, the remains were seen in bushes among pieces of clothing and debris. The scene was processed and the remains removed to the morgue for post-mortem. And also in St. Thomas, the 92-year-old Miriam Dunbar's body was found in a water tub. Basically, it is believed that she drowned. These are developing stories, guys, which I will have more information for you on Sunday, because tomorrow is Saturday and I am not on tomorrow. So I am going to, I have to take my rest also. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist for those who are new to program and wondering. Okay, I just have to take my rest. We work on 6 days, rest on the 7th day, right? It just so happens that I start working on Sunday. So the seventh day is Saturday. So I rest on Saturday, not because I'm a 7th day. I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist, just for clarification, okay? Because I know the question is being asked. Yeah. Okay, so with that, guys, I have come to the end of the program for today. I really hope you enjoyed the program. If you do, guys, remember, share the link with your friends and family. And remember, guys, you have to subscribe to the channel. You got to subscribe to the channel, right? I also want to end the program by giving you a little tip. Somebody sent me wonderful. It's a PDF file, wonderful information on it. I read it and I was in agreement with it, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta share some of this with my readers, right? Just for information, so we can make informed decisions, guys, as we try to stay healthy, because that's one of the main things, also for it to be healthy, to build up your immune system. If you have a strong immune system, then guys, even if you get infected, because we catch the flu, don't we? But if you have a good immune system, you recover. You catch the measles, it's the same thing, right? If you have a disease, if you get a disease, if your immune system is strong and can fight it, then the chances of survival are high, right? So it involves, guys, exercising and eating right. We are not eating right, guys. We're not eating right. And so here are some of the things that you're supposed to be eating, guys. These are things that are supposed to be in your diet, your everyday diet, right? If not every day, but at least a part of your diet, as a part of your eating lifestyle. Turmeric, ginger, onions, raw honey, garlic, apple cider vinegar, horseradish, oregano oil. You know what those are, guys? Those are all antibiotics, natural antibiotics God created in this world for us to use, right? Guys, when you're drinking tea, if you drink cinnamon is good for a headache. If you have a headache and you drink a cinnamon tea, it helps the headache. If you have a cough, you drink thyme tea, good for cough. If you have a sore throat, drink lemon tea is good for sore throat. So if you have a stomach ache, what you call belly ache, yeah, the stomach hurting you, you drink chamomile tea is good for that. Something chamomile, yeah. If you are fatigued, if you drink peppermint, it will energize you, yeah. And if you have insomnia, you can't sleep at night, if you drink passion flower, that will help, right? Guys, drinking water, and you see how much I drink water, right? I'm drinking water all the time. That should tell you something, yeah? If you drink water after waking up, 1 glass of water, guys, it cleanses your organs. If you drink a glass of water before a meal, it dilutes the digestive juices. If you drink water before a shower, it lowers your blood pressure. Did you know that? If you drink a glass of water before you shower, it lowers your blood pressure. And if you drink a glass of water before going to bed, it keeps you hydrated. Thought I'd share that with you. More to come. Yes, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was my pleasure serving you today, Friday, July 10th, 2020. I am looking forward to seeing you again on Sunday at noon, 12 p.m. All right, God willing. And until then, I tell you, guys, love upon each other, show love and compassion, show this compassionate discretion, be tolerant of each other. All right, love is a verb. All right, guys. When you're on the road, ensure to wear your masks. Okay, don't do it for a longer period. Should not exceed 4 hours, as I told you before. Right? Because then you have a problem now. You're creating a new problem by keeping on that mask. That's not healthy, right? But you have to wear your mask when you go out, guys, to protect the portal of entry and the portal of exit. Yeah? Practice infection control measures. You blow your nose, you wash your hands. You blow in a tissue, doesn't matter, you wash your hands still. Yeah? Keep your surfaces clean, germ-free, because remember, the germs can fall on the surfaces and they can survive. We don't know for how long. Right? We hear conflicting reports as to how long it can survive on the surface. Some say days, some say weeks. So we don't know. It could be even months. I'm saying the point is, if you keep your environment clean, right, and you practice infection control by washing your hands, then you are slowing the process of the spread of the virus. Yeah, that's what we are saying. Okay, guys? And we're also saying that COVID-19 is not a death sentence. Regardless of what you're hearing out there, I still maintain I am with the conspiracy theory that there's more going on out there than meets the eye. COVID-19 is not a death sentence. It is like flu, influenza. It's like a very bad flu. Like measles kill more people than what COVID-19 has killed. A matter of fact, last week, between the gunmen and um, car accidents, we had more deaths in Jamaica than we had from COVID-19. Let's put it in perspective. Yeah, that's what we are saying. All right, guys. So this is it for me today. I thank you for tuning into the program. Remember, I'm on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Omega News JA. Go over there, guys. Like, comment, and share. Mwah. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Continue to subscribe to the channel, guys. I continue to share the link with your friends and family that they can tune in and also become informed. For my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So until I see you on Sunday, God willing, this is JJ, Woman Without Borders, saying, stay blessed and be a blessing. Love you. Bye.